Since I went veganish, I still say ish because I'm not really legalistic about it. Really gung ho and strong about a lot of vegan stuff. I'm not um, totally opposed to something that has meat in it. I mean, milk. I should say milk. Just not primary. If it has it down in the ingredients, I'm a little bit flexible because it's going to be really hard to get food from the grocery or anything that's processed with no meat, again, no milk, no dairy proteins or whey or eventually I'm going to go completely raw, and it'll only be things I grow and cook myself. Um, but until then, I'm vegan ish. I don't eat meat, don't eat cheese, and primary dairy and primary egg because I realize I've got mayonnaise and it's got egg in it somewhere. I very anti how they treat chickens. I've seen the pictures of corporate farms on it, but that's probably not why you clicked on this vlog to hear me talk about the veganish stuff. You wanted to hear me say "holy blankety blank." That's good. I just and I don't like to repeat my cuss word. I cuss a lot by myself. I don't like to repeat it. I don't know why. It just feels wrong to write it down. It feels kind of wrong. I mean, I do sometimes cuss in my writing, but don't very much. But that the reason why I wrote that as my title because that was like the first thing that popped in my head. And it came out of my mouth. Actually, I said it whenever I was eating just now. Oh my goodness! I cut up some potatoes, sliced potatoes, and onion. I had a white onion, sliced the onion, and I got some vegetable oil hot. Started sauteing it. Probably should have used a bigger pan. I mean, a bigger skillet because I used a smaller skillet. And then after I'd been starting periodically sauteing it for 15, 20 minutes, I think, I put some oil and margarine on it, which I think it's non-dairy. I think it's just margarine. Is it because I looked at ingredients and it's palm oil and different kinds of vegetable oil, and I think there's some soybean in it. I don't know, but it is some kind of margarine. And I put salt, garlic salt, on the potatoes and mushrooms. I bought a one of those little containers of sliced mushrooms, and I had like half of it left, and I put them all in there. Oh my goodness, they're good. But concurrently, they were. I mean, by themselves, I would have been like, "Why isn't more?" It's kind of frustrating, right? But I had this chickenless patty too. It was made out of soy and it tasted like chicken. And it's breaded on the outside. They probably have seasonings, I don't know. But I didn't add any seasonings. I just put it on a cookie sheet in the oven. I followed the oven directions, just to bake it. And I had that and my vegetables. Okay, I was eating it. Holy, that was, oh yeah, it was, that is the best patty I think I have had. You know what? It's probably due to the fact that I don't eat meat. It tastes so good. But I can't imagine eating a piece of chicken and a piece of soy and not thinking. I can't imagine a piece of chicken tastes better. Um, I mean, I've got 40 years of eating meat, and that's better than anything I remember, or better than any plain patties. Because I didn't add, I didn't put slices on the vegetables and make it into a sandwich, or I didn't. It's just a patty, chickenless soy patty, and it was so good. I mean, better than any plain patty. And if I made a sandwich out of it, I'm sure it would be better than chicken. I mean, okay, that's my opinion. I'm projecting my opinion and letting everybody know I love that patty. A few weeks ago, a month maybe, I don't know, I bought these slices. They were deli slices. They okay, it looked like American cheese slice. Well, no, they were lighter, like whitish. So it looked like a cross between mozzarella and pepper jack because it didn't have the stuff in it. Slices. They were actually, it was tofu, which I think tofu is soy that's been processed or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but they tasted, because I was craving a grilled cheese sandwich, but I want cheese because I know it comes from dairy. It's like and I know some people, some of my friends have seen something I posted about cheese. How it's like a distilled version of milk. Basically, you take cow's milk, you keep distilling it, and it goes down. And it's like a pure meth. I mean, you take this much drugs, and you boil it, and it makes compression of this much drugs, but it's really powerful. That's what cheese is like. It takes that. I don't remember, casein might be what it's called. I don't know. It's an opiate like. It's chemically it's very similar to like heroin. I mean but it's in milk, and it's supposed to kind of make your baby um, want your milk, and it's like compressed in cheese. So that's why so many people can't give up cheese. They're like, oh, I'd be vegan except for I can't give up cheese. So that doesn't make sense to me why you'd still eat it if these tofu slices were as good, if not better. Oh my goodness, they were good. Oh God, that made an awesome grilled cheese sandwich. Oh my goodness. And then we made these little biscuit pizza things, and we used those slices, broke them, and they melted really good. Probably would have been better if they were shredded first when you put them on, and then because they melted just like a slice would melt. It tasted so good. But what I'm okay, this being not eating meat, and it's really expanded my palate. I think I'm thinking that the right way, expanding my palate. Um, because I hated cucumber. Used to hate cucumber. Oh my goodness. I mean, with a passion, I would say some My wife used to always slip me cucumbers because she thought it was really funny, and which I'm sure it was. It's like all comedy. It's funny when it's not hurting you; it's hurting somebody else. But I would eat this, and I would, as soon as I tasted the slice, I'd be like, ah! I'd make faces and stuff. And my kids do it to me all the time now. Still, they give me stuff that's too spicy or too sour. When it comes like candy and stuff, because they know that I'll make faces for that too. But anyway, I used to do this with cucumber, and okay, probably for years until like 3.5 months ago. I mean, I hated cucumber, and I'd hate raw cucumber. But I started a few years ago. I started I could handle cucumber in tzatziki sauce. Only on a Greek sandwich. That's the only time I eat cucumber. But since 3.5 months ago, I love me some cucumber. That's like the first thing I eat in my salads now. Well, after my tomatoes, here's a aroma. Very rarely do I ever eat a Roma tomato, just full like an apple, But I found out not too long ago that Aldi's has these bags of Romas about this size, so not a small tomato, not a big tomato. I've seen some big ones. These Romas, a bag of like 4 to 6. They're just little bags for 99 cents. And I have bought so many of these, and they're awesome. I mean, already today I've only eaten one tomato, but there have been days I'll eat like 3 tomatoes in one sitting. I love them so much. And I eat a lot of avocados. But see, those are the tomatoes and avocados are two things that I've ate those for years. So no great thing. And beans. I love beans. And I love potatoes. And I love onions. So those it hasn't changed. But the cucumbers, I eat cucumbers like they're going out of style. Love those things. And I attribute that to not eating meat. It's not. Some people would probably say it's lack of options that have expanded my palate, but I think it's just expanding my mind and looking at things that were good already. I just didn't like them. Same thing with mushrooms. I'll put mushrooms in the list because it's been gradual over the last few years. I like the flavor of mushrooms, but I never liked the texture of mushrooms. I'm starting to really like mushrooms, sliced mushrooms. I haven't eaten a whole one yet because that seems a little bit too much for me. It's got to be sliced. But the arguments for omniism versus veganism they just don't make much logical sense, because anonymous might say something like, "Oh, we've been eating meat for thousands of years. It's okay." That doesn't make it okay just because we've been doing it. And I understand, there was a time in human history when eating meat we needed to. The protein, people are always, the protein experts come out of the woodwork when they hear you don't eat meat. Oh, no, how do you get your protein? Beans? Potatoes? I don't know. I just do. And you really don't need that much protein in burgers. Hamburgers? they have very little protein. I mean, you'd have to eat like 8 Big Macs to get the protein you get in 3 bowls of beans. I mean, it's weird. You don't get as much protein as people think you do from eating meat. And where do those animals get the protein? From grains. It's like they eat leafy vegetables. So that's where we get nutrients from the animals that have eaten leafy vegetables. Why not cut out the middleman and just go straight to people like that literally and they cut out the middleman? No, just take them out. And it's not that I have such a soft space in my heart for cows. I don't think we should let them go free. You know, open a dairy farm, but let them live. Come on, dude. I mean, we might be overrun with cows because there have been so many who have been bred. But just let nature handle nature. We don't need to artificially inseminate animals, and hey, let them have what they're gonna have. I mean, just let them live. That's what I'm saying. And so my palate's expanded anyway. I mean, I ate veggie burgers. They probably could have been prepared better, seasoned better. I didn't do a very good job. They tasted pretty good, but I didn't do a very good job cooking it. So I'm gonna experiment more on that. But chicken patty, I was like, why don't we do this? As humanity, why have we evolved to the point where we have to cruelly kill an animal and eat its flesh when we are smart enough to make something that tastes better than meat and we don't do it? It's like let's stop evolution of humanity and let's live in the 18th century. I mean, let's, because we can make meatless stuff, and it can be real. Oh, we have some meatless balls we put on our spaghetti, and they are, oh my goodness. I eat like 7 or 8. My son, who's an omnist, eats meatballs all the time. Probably had meatballs last week. He came over to my place and had the meatless balls. Loved them. Probably could have eaten more. I'm gonna buy more of those, but I also want to try the other meatless foods. I'm gonna expand my everything. I don't have to eat meat to enjoy myself. I don't have to eat meat to get my nutrients. I get nutrients, and that's what I'm like. Why are we doing this? This makes sense because we're all earthlings, pigs and cows. I'll harp on them the most, but chickens also. But okay, those are the 3 major ones: chickens, pigs, and cows. But there's it applies across the board to things we're exploiting. It seems like, okay, when a caveman said, "Ooh, burnt flesh tastes good," and we evolved to the point where we could burn something else and it'll taste good too. Why don't we do it? Why is such a minority? Only, I don't know what percentage. We're a minority as vegetarian people. And that's too bad. I think the next step on the evolutionary ladder for humanity is to go raw. Is to go away from processed meats. Go away from factory farming meats, because that's evolution. We're changing. We don't need to cook it more, cook it different ways. Let's cook something different. If we can make it, why don't we? I mean, it would leave those animals alive. I am very anti the animal cruelty. Animal cruelty. I've seen it, and I'm like, this is. It doesn't make sense when you, I've seen the things comparing like a dog to a pig, and people, a lot of society, they're outraged when we talk about animal abuse when it comes to a dog or a cat or a horse. Because in America, we don't eat those animals. So that's, the majority of people are outraged by that. But they're not outraged by brutally murdering so many cows. I don't know, 1 billion cows a year in America. I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. Maybe that's too many. Maybe that's not enough. I don't know. But there's killing cows. Americans have no problem killing cows, but you kill a dog, that's something you've been in jail for animal cruelty, for neglecting your animals stuff. Just like that doesn't make any sense. Now in India, eating dog is normal. Well, actually I don't know that for sure. But a lot of Asian places they eat dog. But cows, they don't. Hindu, I'm not great with relating religion and everything, but since the cow is sacred, you don't kill the cow, you don't hit the cow, you don't molest the cow in any way, you don't drink milk. So in some places in the world, the scripts are flipped a little bit. Well, let's take it all together. America is supposed to be more than just white America. I'll say it. So embrace that. Respect your cow too. I don't understand that. If you're gonna respect the dog, why not respect the cow too? And I'm not saying no. I'm not gonna buy a cow and let it sleep in my house or in my yard whenever I get a yard. Because that's not for me. And I might not rescue a dog from a shelter because I don't. But I'm just as likely when I get my own place to rescue a dog as a cow. I don't foresee myself, because I don't seem like a cow person. I might be a big pig person though, because they're typically smaller, and they're not dirty animals. They have a reputation for being dirty because they tend to lay in mud. But we also have mud in our spas. Humans take mud baths all the time. It's just because pigs can't purify it or whatever. Come on. Rambling pretty far off of everything. It's about, let's get back to this holy blank. It was just such an explosive feeling because that chickenless patty was so good. Oh my goodness. But you have to have a buffer. And I had a buffer of like 3 months, but you can't go from I'm not going to eat meat, eating a tofu patty the next day because your palate hasn't changed. Your tongue taste buds are the same, and you'll compare the two too much, and it's like the tofu slices that I said that were like cheese slices. I was told that if you go to sleep, you can't quit cheese and eat those the next day and like them. My kids did. At least they told me they did. They told me they liked them a lot. Um, because your mind is so set to eating cheese, there's an addictive quality to cheese, to dairy, that I don't need to go into. She can find videos about addiction, cheese addiction. That's another thing I think we could evolve away from. Since we can make it, why don't we? I mean, if we can milk nuts, you know, why don't more people milk nuts? Because nut milk's not bad. I mean, I've tasted some almond milk. It's pretty good. I mean, that's some good stuff. And but granted, I never drink a lot of cow's milk. Um, but I would put it on cereal and stuff. And now I'm gonna eat my tomato. Watch my Star Trek. I've been thinking about this, and something that we authors can do. I say we authors. I haven't written a novel. I haven't finished the novel I've been thinking about forever. I'm thinking about making them vegan, making that be the majority, not the minority, in that world. Um, I already made him porkless. For religious reasons, years ago, I cut out pork. Did for 3 years, no pork. Just for religious reasons. I'm beyond that. I'm not religious anymore. This is, and it's not. It's kind of morality, being anti-animal cruelty, but it's also like put it in the context of okay, so a pig is a lesser being than human because their mind works differently. They don't form civilizations and make jokes, and I don't know what else. I don't know whatever defines a human being, they don't do. So most people think it's okay to kill them and eat them because they're lesser beings. So I put it in the wider context, like us in the galaxy, humans in the galaxy, because we're not the only sentient thinking beings in the multiverse, in the galaxies. That's really, really species centric. I mean, thinking that the humans are the top dogs. We're not. We're just one of many. There are other species of people out there. I know there are. Just because we haven't encountered them. Okay, science fiction you looking. Go in the future. Think about if we encounter another species and they're smarter than us, or at least they think they're smarter than us. They not only enslave us, because that's been a lot of science fiction when you enslave one race versus another race. That's what they call them, in science fiction. One species enslaves another species. But what if they start killing us and eating us? I mean, it's like that wouldn't be right. So why is it right for humans to kill pigs? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just because they don't use technology, maybe in 10 billion years they will. Maybe they can evolve. Maybe it's okay. I guess it's kind of co-opting religious do unto others as you want them to do unto you, and it's applying it across species. So it's co-opting something religious. Maybe I'm taking away out of context, and you Christian radicals can say go to hell, and I can go burn in hell somewhere. So I'll be eating windows. Um, do unto others. Do unto a pig the way I want them to do unto us humans. It could be in 1,000 years when we encounter another species, but it's conceivable that since we're lesser life forms, they'll just eat us. They'll put us in concentration camps and eat us. Or not even another species. Matrix. They utilize the humans. They don't eat us. They keep us in those little bed. I'm not as into it as in those little beds, and they're using our energy. They're using humans' energy because we got all these electric impulses and stuff. They're using our energy. So, is it okay for a higher being, which the machines become the beings in this scenario? I guess. Is it okay for them to use humans as an item? No. We got the people revolting. We got Morpheus, Neo, and them revolting, saying we have a right to be us. We're humans. All that. But nobody can talk to the pigs except for us. Because they don't talk for themselves yet. In a billion years, maybe they will evolve, and maybe they will. So we have to speak on behalf of the animals that can't speak for themselves. And I think we should just say that it's not a big down with everybody else. Down with all you omnis. No, it's come join me, omnis, on this side. We don't eat meat. We eat vegetables and grains and nuts. We eat other stuff. Why aren't more people doing this? It's very similar to my thoughts on another issue now, marijuana. If it hadn't been legalized, I don't know, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, if it hadn't been illegalized, people would have done research and development in it because there are so many medical benefits of cannabis in cannabinoids. Oh my goodness, if we would have used cannabinoids, we would have kicked cancer's ass decades ago. Because I know the cure is in there. But it was illegal. And that's kind of like, to me in my head, I don't know if anybody else thinks this way, making something illegal, making it socially unacceptable. Now I've kind of lost exactly where I was going. I need to write this down. But it's okay. Socially acceptable. Oh no, maybe acceptable because cannabis was legal, so we didn't do our R&D on it. And people ate meat. People love meat. So we used meat, and we didn't put the R&D in the non-meat alternatives. So it's like now we're legalizing something, and if we had done it if it had never been legalized, we would have done development. We would be so advanced as humanity. I mean, gosh, I don't want that to happen to humans again. I don't want us to get stuck in this, not evolving, not going forward because we need to eat beef. We need our bacon. We'll make something that tastes like bacon. I call it bacon. it's not. It's not made out of pigs, but it tastes good. It tastes better. Make something that tastes better. We can do it. Put the R&D into alternative sources of protein, since that's what we want to harp on. I mean, there are small groups that put the R&D in. You know what? Green Choice, or I don't know what the brands are because I'm fairly new to this dead dairy habit. I've just eaten a few vegan green foods. And that's why it's so expensive, because the R&D has been kind of like, well, we can't make a lot of money, so we're not going to do it. And so many R&D departments for so long they haven't investigated meatless alternative foods. That's why it's expensive. It's hard to find stuff that fits in your budget that are meatless, because there's not as much of it, and there's not as much inexpensive alternatives out there. That's sad. I think there should be more. There should be more alternatives. It's just I'm done rambling. I'm gonna have to end this vlog. But eat my tomato. Watch my Star Trek. Go to bed early.